All right. Recording has started, and this is the July 14th, 2026 Rook community meeting. So let's jump on into our milestone checkups as always. Let's see, when was last time we were together? We meet on the second Tuesday of each month, so that was June 9th, it looks like. So let's catch up on things, anything since June 9th. So let's take a look for our oldest supported minor version, which is 1.19. Let's look at the release notes, see if there's anything useful or important to call out there.
Yeah, 1.19 still uses Squid base for the release. I guess I just saw a Squid released 19.2.5 like today, so I guess we could make that the new default for 1.19.8 or the next time we get a release out. So that's just what pops out to me from those notes, but nothing
All right,
major.
cool. And then we are thinking about doing a regularly scheduled patch release again for the next couple of weeks, it looks like.
Yeah,
Yep, nothing blocking or activity going on. Just let the train move, leave the station.
yeah, that'd be the catching the train. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and with these next patch releases, by the way, there may be some Ceph changes coming in the same time frame, so we may adjust these ship dates plus or minus a few days just to pick up those Ceph changes. I can give more context offline, but yeah, that's I guess dates always move anyway, right? So we'll see when that comes.
Okay. So let's take a look then at the previous patches that we had done on the 1.20 branch. So let's take a quick look at dot one. Anything big to call out here?
Um, yeah, just our first patch release. Yeah, we had some Helm or some CSI driver values there. That first one on the list, where with the 1.20 upgrade, some people had a bit of a rocky update. Not much rocky update, but that helped improve the updates. And I don't think I've heard any big challenges of the CSI operator migration since that patch release. So I guess it's been good and stable.
Nice. Good to hear that progress there then. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's take a look at the dot two, then the 1.20.2 release real quick also.
Yeah. And related to this release, the one on top that pops out is the 20.2.2 release. It does have some a memory leak issue in the Ceph manager. And so users on this may have to disable the Rook manager module to work around that until they get the fix. Someone in Ceph team is actively working on fixing that for the next release, but there is a memory leak that will probably cause the manager to kills on occasion.
Is that something we've like shared through other channels like Slack and stuff like that too, Travis?
Yeah, it's in the announcements
Or
channel.
active
It's
bug?
it's a pinned issue in the issues tab. It's so yeah. If I mean if the Ceph team does not have another patch release for many months, I might consider changing the default version back to 20.2.1. But we'll keep an eye on that maybe a bit longer. And I think I heard rumors of a new patch release for Tentacle in the next few weeks. So if it's in that time frame, and if we get that fix in there, I think that'll be sufficient to just keep it for now.
Okay. All right, sounds reasonable then. Yep, but then as we discussed, upcoming patch releases on in 2 weeks from now. And then 1.21, the new 1.21, looking at a couple months from now, the September-ish timeline for the next minor release there. Do we have a board already tracking issues?
Probably not yet. I just threw that in the agenda
Uh,
yesterday, so
okay.
I'll go create that board after this too, so we can start thinking about it. And it might be, yeah, late September, early October, but haven't thought about that time frame much. I think around 1st of June was when we had the 1.20s, so they're generally about 4 months apart. So we'll see.
Yeah. Wait, early June was the 1.20? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And 1
So
month ago.
1st of
Okay.
October might
July,
be the
August. Yeah.
latest I'd
First of
hope for.
October would be the 4 month window. Okay. Cool. Follow up to the
Yeah, if anybody has input on the
project.
timeline, but it's a 4-month cadence. And people don't usually have much feedback on it, at least historically.
Are there any major themes, Travis, that we know we would want to be solving in that timeline?
There's one nice change coming from the CSI driver, which I put at the bottom of the agenda to mention.
Yeah, okay.
But other themes, there we have the roadmap doc still that is somewhat updated. I forget a couple of the things in that list, but RDW accounts I know are in active development. Um, yeah, a bunch of things. I'll forget on the spot here.
Yeah, that's I'll bring it up here.
The roadmap doc is generally kind of brief, but I still need to be updated to 1.21 too. Look at that.
Yeah. Yep. Early
Okay,
times in the release, still
good.
supporting 1.20, right?
Yeah.
Well, smoothing that out. Okay, cool. Anything else folks want to add then for milestones, releases, roadmap stuff? All right. Let's keep on trucking then. So Blaine is not here today, but Blaine was the one who first took the initiative on this. So the the CNCF and Linux Foundation, they want to standardize on the Project Control Center platform to manage community events and meetings and stuff like that. So we've got onboarded onto that now, and the that will basically be our Zoom host for meetings going forward. So this meeting here should be the last one that we have at the current link. We've got an open pull request to move to the new link, to the new Zoom location. And then we also have we get a community calendar on top of that platform as well. Doesn't seem to be highly optimized, but here it is. So we can start adding, if there are other maintainer meetings or community events or presentations or talks or whatever, we can add them into this community calendar so they're all basically in a single place. So feel free. Blaine has access to that. Travis, you have access to that as well, right? So we should be able to give any maintainer access to it to be able to manage it and add meetings when they want to and stuff like that. But this would basically be the kind of the front door public calendar for Rook events going forward. Thank you, Linux Foundation. So
All right,
let's
so
just go
public
ahead and
calendar, and we can create basically the Zoom account will be integrated with that, so it's basically a Zoom meeting whenever we put on there.
yeah, exactly. Yep. So I'm
Okay,
gonna go
because
ahead and write. Go ahead, Travis.
yeah, we've got
Done.
uh, a weekly design call that we
Oh.
could put on that now.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So to have that recurring on the calendar, so help with more discoverability of it too. Then.
Yeah, those are the main
Cool.
things on the calendar.
That's great. Okay. What else was I gonna say about that? Yeah, and if anybody wants, it's not super confusing, but there are a couple of quirks on it. So I've gone ahead and already set up, the recurring meeting going forward for the community meeting here. But if anybody wants to add something and they have any questions, feel free to reach out because I've used this before on other projects too, so I'm familiar with it. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. Cool. So the other follow-ups I have then for this are so the agenda doc's updated. We need to get this PR updated so the README is up to date too. And then I'll go ahead and announce that on Slack for more visibility, so folks see it in more places that the community meeting link is changing. And then I'll delete the old calendar appointment as well, the points of the old meeting, so that hopefully we'll get rid of any remnants pointing to the old one, and folks will not have confusion about where to go the second Tuesday of August.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Next, I don't know how long that had been going on, but we did have an outage with blog.rook.io. It seemed like the root cause for that is that medium.com that hosts our blog, they at some point removed support for custom domains or vanity domains. So blog.rook.io was no longer able to point directly to Medium and show up as the vanity domain while you're browsing the site. And so I think they announced that a few years ago, actually, but then they had like some sort of front door server redirect box up and running in AWS, I think, for a long, long time, like, for a couple of years after they announced this, I think, and then they finally sunset it at some point, turned it off. And that's when our blog.rook.io DNS record that was pointing at that, static IP address for medium.com stopped working essentially. So we found this out, and then we took a couple of action items there to basically, update our DNS so that blog.rook.io points to a little GitHub static page that does a redirect for you and goes to medium.com/rook.io. So the experience now, when you're browsing the blog, you don't get blog.rook.io, but when you go to blog.rook.io, you do get taken somewhere as opposed to a black hole. So that is a slight user experience improvement, one could say. So the blog is back active and online, and previous links, guys, there's a ton of links out there that point to, blog.rook.io, and they'll now be migrated, or sorry, redirected to this place.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks for the redirect. So all those old links keep working for sure.
Yep. And that's now that I say that out loud, and you just said it out loud too, Travis, I only tested the Apex domain there, blog.rook. Not Apex, sorry, that's the wrong term there, but the bear one there, blog.rook.io. I didn't actually check old, links that have like URL paths and parameters and stuff afterwards. So I need to check that to see if that works too. I don't know if it does.
I think those links all just use the Medium. Is it medium.com links directly? So I don't think
Oh, so they land
blog.rook.io.
in the right place? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
That'd
think
be
they would
great.
already, as I recall.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be really nice. Let me
The
just try one real quick.
blog.rook.io is only the root landing page, and all the individual blog
Oh, that one didn't
links
work,
were.
at least. Look, I don't know what the expectation is for if there's other, segments or something. So that might be something to follow up on. If like some link out there that, is to blog.rook.io/whatever, it'd be nice if those continued to work as well.
So you just
So
were typing to test that.
yeah, I just
I'm
typed
not
that.
sure it ever.
I don't know what
Yeah,
the links in the wild actually look like. I don't know. I just tried typing and see what would happen. I may have not done the right thing.
yeah. I'll sample the links we actually have in the blogs themselves to make sure,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
release notes.
Cool.
Anyway,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but at least blog.rook.io itself is up. So that's better than not. Okay, cool. And then next agenda item here. Interesting features coming down the pipeline. You hinted at this earlier, Travis. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, exactly. So the CSI driver, CSI driver has an update feature coming soon. It's a big feature, so it's not something that we anticipate we could really backport. But QoS has been a request for a long time, since early in the Rook days, and the ability to set IOPS limits and limit noisy neighbor problems between pods. So now coming, so in the documentation, our latest documentation, which corresponds to the master branch, it talks about how it works. Basically, on a PVC, you can basically set limits for that PVC. And the CSI driver, when it mounts the pod, it'll apply those to the C group. So it requires C groups v2 to apply those limits. And the CSI driver already has the needed privileged permissions to do such a thing with C group. So no new privileges needed, and CSI driver will just take care of it for us automatically. Anyway, so that's the summary of the feature, being able to have IO limits.
And
for
it's
noisy neighbors.
already merged and done and complete then, Travis, I'm assuming given that we've
Yeah.
got, docs ready to roll on it too.
Yeah, so CSI driver repo already merged their change, and so it's possible to test it today with in their repo. I think it's called the Canary Docker tag. So it is possible to test it if somebody wants to take a look. It does require Kubernetes 1.34 to use the volume attributes class feature. But I mean, we're on Kubernetes 1.36, so hopefully a lot of people are already on that version anyway.
Seems like a reasonable hope, at least. Cool. Okay, that's exciting.
So yeah, Madhu was the primary author of that, so he could answer any questions.
Thank you, Manu.
I can give it my best shot to answer your questions. But sound like we're good for now. Cool.
Okay. All right, well, something to be excited about in the 1.21 release then. So that's the end of the written down agenda topics here. Does anybody have other agenda items that they wanted to bring up then before we adjourn? All right. Well, cool. Then we can adjourn, and then we'll keep pushing towards 1.21 and getting out some of the older releases, patch releases out as well. And then we'll come back together in August.
Alrighty.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, see
Bye,
you, folks.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya.